back in the woods.
Morning guys, Dave Canterbury back with another Diary of the Tipi on our second portion of our natural dye video. I spent quite a bit of time out here last night messing around with a couple of different things. I didn't want to draw the video out for like an hour. So what I wanted to show you was, first of all, we went ahead and pulled our pot off the boil. I have subsequently put black walnut hulls in there and dyed some stuff since then. But we have several different swatches above my head, and I'm going to lay them out with a piece of white cloth and with the material that I used to dye them with. You can use just about anything in the wild will turn, you know, your water a different color. Whether it will dye fabric or not is a different story. You kind of have to experiment around. There's plenty of lists out on the internet of different plants that make decent dyes. I used 4 or 5 different ones to try to dye fabrics different colors. The really hard one is blue, obviously. Blue is almost impossible. Indigo dye you can get out west. You're not going to get it in the eastern seaboard area or in eastern woodlands. They imported that stuff in, and that's why it was so sought after. There is a false indigo plant that grows like west of Illinois all the way up into, and it kind of angles up into Massachusetts a little bit, but in our area down here we don't have it at all. So it would be something you have to bring in to get that blue color, and that's why that indigo dye was such a prized trade item with the Native American woodland Indians of the time period. So let me get these swatches down. I'll lay them out here with a piece of white cloth, and we'll talk about what I used to dye each one of them, and we'll look at the colors and see how they came out. Stay with me, guys. Okay guys, so I've got all these swatches. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swatches laid down there on top of the original white cloth. Starting on the left side, the first one was dyed with just a horseshoe fungus. I just ground it up just like I would for fire starting and used that, and it came out, you know, a tannish brown color. The second one, I used some yellow flower tops. I was trying to get a yellowish color. I really ended up with just an off-white, really. The third one was dyed with yarrow, and it's kind of an off-green. You know, none of these colors are real brilliant. They're not going to be. They're more naturalistic colors. And then the fourth one over was dyed with pine bark, and it came out kind of a light brown, reddish tan color. And then the last one on the far right was dyed in black walnut hulls, and it came out a brownish color. Now, if I would have dyed that longer or used more black walnuts, it would have came out a very dark color, like this piece here. That was also dyed in black walnut hulls, but it was dyed with green hulls, and it was boiled for a long time and let soak overnight. The rest of this stuff I did in a pretty quick fashion, you know, 15 minutes to an hour soaking and boiling at the most, except for the green, which I did it, the yarrow, I let it soak almost overnight. So there you go. One thing that you have to understand about these dyes is you need what's called a mordant, and a mordant is a fixative, basically, that either it does one of several things depending on the chemical or the compound that you use, whether it's ashes in the natural world or whether it is iron from a creek or something like that. You could use iron as well. There are other chemicals that they use like vinegar and alum and things of that nature, different types of acids and alkalis, but those are meant to either brighten the color, dull the color, or fix the color. Most of them are fixatives, and they fix the color in the fabric so that they don't dull over time or wash out over time. But you can get some natural colors from natural dyes. You're not going to get anything real bright, beautiful color. You can get purples, and you can get, you know, like an off pink color and things like that from raspberries. Anything that will stain your skin, basically, or stain fabric if it gets on you, will make a good dye. So think about, you know, raspberries and blackberries, things like that, how they stain your skin. They're going to stain fabric the same way. This is the same with black walnut hulls. Black walnut hulls will stain your skin, so they're definitely going to stain fabric. And black walnut hulls are, you know, generally considered the best brown dye. They're actually called brown dye number 7 in the textile world, because that's the color of brown, is number 7, that a black walnut hull will make if you let it do its thing right, like the fabric that I laid up there just a second ago. The other one didn't soak long enough or wasn't a good enough concentration. I used dead hulls instead of green hulls. Kind of want to give you this shot real fast here. I laid all those fabrics up on top of each other right here on the line. I just wanted to see, you can see the rainbow of different colors you get there and the contrast between each one. Like I said, they're not brilliant bright colors, but they are definitely different colors. All right, guys, well, I'm Dave Canterbury from the Pathfinder School. Appreciate you joining me for another Diary of the Tipi and talking about natural dyes and fabrics. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your support. I appreciate everything that you do for me, for my family, for my business. I'll be back with another educational video as soon as possible. Thanks, guys.